Well, we're coming up in December 10th. We're going to have a conference at Kauai Community College all about the debris that was formed from that tsunami in Japan. And we've brought in the experts who have been following that debris as it left Japan and floated across the ocean, looking at how it's distributed and also looking at the radioactivity in it. And so Surfrider wants to let everybody know that this is coming and that we need to be able to get out there and clean it up off the beaches, and also for public safety to be aware that this is a safety hazard for everybody out surfing and using the beaches themselves.
You know, I think the Surfrider organization that you are the chairperson for is very well known. They quietly do what they do around the island of Kauai, and that is cleaning up beaches, drift nets, and, you know, of course, along our eastern corridor with a lot of the trade winds blowing in. You know, it's obviously this is the side of the island that's going to get debris, but if and when this debris comes in through Japan, it's going to scatter all throughout this island of Kauai.
Right, it's going to be all around the island. So we're looking to have partners with us who will be working all around the island. We'll have groups up on the North Shore. We'll have the friends and volunteers out at PMRF, Malama Mahalalapu, everywhere, going out and watching for the debris. And then once we get set up, we're going to start counting how much stuff is coming in so we can see, is there a real change? So we need to be ready in January to start looking at what's normally on our beaches and start looking to see if anything's coming in from Japan.
And Dr. Karlberg, we are talking specifically about the earthquake followed by the tsunami. So early on, when it was monitored soon thereafter, days or perhaps weeks, there were illustrations via the air that this was a big, huge cluster of just a bunch of debris. And I guess over the months, a lot of that stuff has, maybe separated itself or kind of dispersed itself one way or another. What kind of stuff are we talking about? I mean, probably everything, including the kitchen sink.
Everything, including the kitchen sink. The people on Kauai know what happens when a hurricane hits and all that stuff is thrown in the water. It's the same thing what happened with the tsunami. And a Russian training ship for sailors in September were out off of Midway, and they found the kitchen sink. They found refrigerators. They found televisions. They found a little 20-foot fishing boat with Fukushima written on it. And they found lots and lots of lumber with nails on it. The buildings were just blown apart, and they're floating there. And all the different things float at different rates and at different depths in the ocean. So when that comes ashore, it's not going to come as one lump. It's going to be spread out throughout the Hawaiian island chain, and we're going to have it washing up on every shore, on Kauai, and also on Niihau. We know that a lot of stuff washes on Niihau, and they can probably expect a lot of this tsunami-generated stuff too.
You know, it's absolutely amazing because, you know, you say different things float or different things drift at different times or different speeds. But, you know, if you go up the Hawaiian Island archipelago, you know, Midway technically is not really that far away from us. Is there any way to predict, you know, if and when something is going to be coming to our Hawaiian Islands, specifically Niihau and Kauai?
So the scientists at University of Hawaii have computer models showing how the stuff is drifting, and they're going out and getting data, looking at it, and putting the newest data about here, we saw something here. But they also have people at Midway Island who are already out there monitoring what's coming in, monitoring the radioactivity of it, and looking for evidence that this stuff is coming from the tsunami and not just the big garbage patch that's out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
You know, Dr. Karlberg, I would like to say that I really appreciate everything that your organization and the awareness that the people are having this opportunity because, you know, are the other people within the state, like maybe the Big Island or Maui, you know, maybe islands that are further away from Japan, are they concerned or are they kind of trying to get prepared themselves?
Well, we don't see too much action. There's some groups at the University of Hawaii down in Hilo that are trying to get marine debris programs going. But on the other islands, I don't think they've really identified the tsunami debris as a major factor and are starting quantitative monitoring and getting Geiger counters and really getting geared up to check for the arrival of this stuff in particular.
So when you mentioned Geiger counter, would that be something that might monitor radiation or any other, you know, hazardous chemicals or, I mean,
the Geiger counters that we're talking about will be measuring the radiation that may have attached itself to some of this debris. It won't be measuring any other chemicals or anything like that. And we don't think that there's going to be very much at all because the tsunami came and washed all of the wood and all the buildings out. And then it was a few days later that the nuclear power plant started leaking fluid and stuff. So most of the debris was already out in the ocean. And so we really don't expect high counts of the radioactivity. But I, for one, would like to know for sure what those counts are and what to do if something washes up on the beach.
Dr. Berg, we are talking, of course, about this seminar that you're going to be putting together along with your association this coming Saturday, December 10th. Give the viewing audience the time and, of course, the location again at KCC, and perhaps maybe a little bit of background as to who you have invited as far as speakers are concerned.
The conference that we're having is going to be held December 10th at 9 in the morning at the cafeteria at Kauai Community College. And the Marine Options Program of Kauai Community College is our partner with this, putting it all on, because we want to have the college kids involved in this also. And we have invited two scientists from the University of Hawaii. Dr. Maximenko is in charge of modeling the debris and how it moves, and Dr. Henrietta Dulova is measuring the radioactivity. They both have large grants from the government to study this, and they're going to come and tell us the latest information. In addition, Kerry Morishige from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association is going to tell us about NOAA's program of monitoring where it's going, cleaning up the beaches, and how communities can get involved. And then the fourth speaker will be myself talking about Surfrider and what we have been doing for years about cleaning up the beaches, but now trying to get more people involved in getting ready to clean up the beaches of the tsunami debris too. For us, it's all about clean ocean, clean waves, clean beaches for both people and the marine life that's out there.
You know what's so interesting is that a lot of community members, whenever there's a beach cleanup, that you organize and the people come from all walks of life. It's nice to see that the younger generation is getting involved. But a lot of the beaches that we'll be talking about as far as debris is concerned, we have so many open space and so many visible beaches. But we also do have so many beaches that are, like so remote. And these are the ones that's really going to cause a problem, just because just to get the manpower out in those isolated areas will also be probably a big task.
It will be, and we're going to really need the help of the county government to help us get that off the beach and take it to the dump or wherever at these remote beaches. We can't do it all in our little pickup and trucks. And we're going to be looking at all of the beaches all around the island, and we're going to be setting up a hotline so people can either email Surfrider or call Surfrider and say, hey, we saw something at this beach, can you come get it? So we are anticipating that the stuff is going to be distributed all around the beach. But I think, Dickie, one of the important things is if it comes on the beach, it's not going to stay there. The next big tide, the next big waves, it's going to take it back in the ocean. And we can't have that. So we really need to be proactive. And as soon as it's on the beach, get rid of it. What would be really nice is if the government could figure out some way to catch it in the ocean before it even hits our beaches. But that's not the level Surfrider is going to get involved with. But I think hopefully NOAA and the county government and state governments will look, can we keep the stuff from actually coming on the beaches in the first place? It's incidentally, you mentioned the tourist industry, and we have really strong partnership with some of the hotels here who announce to their clients that we're having beach cleanups and come down, and they have their staff come help us. They provide refreshments. But there are a lot of the tourists who are really grateful for having such clean, beautiful beaches, and they'll come down and spend a few hours cleaning it up and helping us out. And so we're really appreciative that everybody here who loves the ocean has joined in, and the hotel industry, the tourist industry are one of our partners, just like all the environmental groups.
And it almost seems like it's a worldwide effort. We just need a lot of other people to be aware of what's going on, Japan, hopefully our friends from China, South Korea, the Canadian government. I mean, everybody in this free world that, care, because quite frankly, I know your organization also has a lot of passion for, now the humpback whales, the monk seals. I mean, everything out there as far as the aquatic mammals and the fish and the birds out there, that this also poses yet, sadly, a potential another problem.
Yeah, so we're looking at it as a human problem. We're also looking at it as a marine environment problem. And so we are passionate about protecting all marine life and everything from birds to the whales to the turtles. So we have to get everybody involved with this. And all the different groups on the island will be helping us with this, and we're going to ask for people to come and join up and help, and the community college is going to help. But the task is going to be huge, and so the more volunteers we have, better organized we can get ahead of time, the better off we are. We don't expect the stuff to come up this month or maybe even next month, but 6 months down the line, we may be seeing the first stuff. So we want to be prepared.
And that's what I was just going to say. Every good Boy Scout is always prepared. You know, something that you had mentioned a little bit earlier, those of us that survived through the hurricane and those of us that were residents here on the island of Kauai, as you know, you mentioned about the debris that actually got sucked. You know, the big waves come in, the backwash comes in. We were worried about all the debris and the rubbish and the roofs and everything else that was on land. But a lot of people didn't realize that half the stuff that was on land were half the stuff that were disposed within the ocean. And I remember various scuba clubs and various dive clubs. I mean, they were doing stuff offshore that was just Herculean, if you will, as far as dragging out tons of rubbish all throughout our shoreline.
That's right. I'm just amazed, you know, thinking back to Aniki time, what the community did, what the dive shops did, what the surfers did. Everybody got together, not in a big organized way, but they just got themselves together to clean up our water, our land. And they did a remarkable job. That was just fantastic. They can't carry the brunt all the time. We all need to chip in, and so that's why Surfrider is serving as the organizing mechanism to get everybody there. And we want for example, we want the fishermen, if they're out fishing and they suddenly see a refrigerator float by, give us a call and let us know, and we can tell the scientists. If they see debris when they're 100 miles offshore, when they get home, let us know, so we can get ready for that type of stuff.
And you know, the passing big ocean liners that go out, the fishermen and what have you. You know, we are here on the eastern corridor, but every now and then you could see a crate or a floating device for the nets that have either Korean writing, Chinese writing, or Japanese writing. And you know, a lot of stuff are on the ocean for a long time. And when they finally make land, you know that this came a long way.
That's right. And so Surfrider has been cleaning up the beaches. We're finding nets from all over the Pacific, and we're getting those. We're taking them off the beach with the help of Matson and Schnitzer Steel. We're sending it to H-Power to burn it up so it doesn't fill our dump up here. So we already have a large amount of stuff that washes up, and we're just worried about what we're going to get on top of that with the tsunami debris.
Well, you know, on a day-by-day and a week-by-week and a month-by-month basis, I want to thank yourself, Dr. Karlberg, your organization, and the people that help you, because it's almost like people see rubbish, and all of a sudden they'll call you folks and say, hey, by the way, there's a lot of drift nets, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it takes a lot of manpower because this stuff weighs a whole lot. I mean, when a big rope gets buried, I mean, even a big 4x4 truck has a hard time just loosening it, needless to say, pulling it out.
We have a huge pile now. We have already gotten rid of one whole 20-foot container load of nets, and we have another one ready to go that we need to load in. And so these are huge things, and it takes big crew, 20 people out there cutting it up and moving it off. And so we plug along all the time. We are really thankful for all the support that the other groups like Malama Mahalapu, Sierra Club, Save Our Seas, all of them are out there doing their bit. We're all working together on this, trying to keep the beaches clean and keep the marine environment clean.
That is so wonderful. If you just joined us, I am here with the chairperson of our Surfrider Foundation Kauai chapter, Dr. Karlberg. Again, thank you very much, yourself, your organization, and you mentioned Save Our Seas, you mentioned the Sierra Club and all these other people that have come, and just the average person. And I do want to take this opportunity to share my aloha out to the local residents, but I think you know yourself, there's so many part-time residents, if you will, or visitors that love the island. You know, they too come out and participate, and that just shows the overall love for Kauai, its waters, its mountains, its, you know, just from Mauka to Makai, how much we got on Malama the Aina. And with that being said, I know you're going to be reporting back, you know, every month or so, and then perhaps we could catch up you quarterly with your you know, findings. But, you know, I know that this is going to be streamed. Dr. Robert Zelkowski is going to be putting something together for the purposes of Ho'ike as far as the actual conference is concerned. So lastly, once again, please take this opportunity to invite the viewing public to join us next week, Saturday, and again, specifically the times, the location, and you might want to remind everybody it's also free.
So on December 10th, this coming Saturday, Kauai Community College and Surfrider Foundation are putting on a mini conference about the tsunami debris in the cafeteria on Kauai Community College. And this is free, and it's designed for the general public understanding, and we hope everyone will show up at 9 o'clock and find out what we have to expect.